Hi, welcome back. I thought I'd change the name of the little series here to Seeking the Pearl of Good Fortune or Good Value, something like that. It's the parable where Christ compares heaven to, a man finding treasure in a field, and he gives up everything he owns to own that field, to own that treasure. A man gives up everything he owns to own this pearl that he's been looking for, he's been searching for. And that's kind of what we're doing here. We are searching for that good pearl, for that good, for that high quality Christian media that can be a little bit hard to find. That not only does praise the Lord and, as accurate as possible and is wholesome, but, isn't cringy to watch and so forth, as I'm sure you've seen in Christian anything. So this one we're going to do a little bit different. This one is actually a music video. I don't know as much about music as I do about video games and so on. We're going to give it a shot. And I'm just going to shut up and I'm going to let DBoyd and Echo start the video off for us, okay? So we're going to leave it there. I'm not going to play the whole video. I'm sure they'd much appreciate it if you go watched it on their channel. So this man here in the white shirt, I believe that is Echo, and the other man, the rapper, was DBoyd. So this video particularly is on DBoyd's channel, but DBoyd is not the one I'm here to talk about, mostly because rap just isn't a genre that I know much about, that I listen to. And I'm one of those people who you'll play a song in front of, and I could not tell you a word that's in that song. It just goes in one ear and out the other. And I looked for captions. There's no captions on that video, and rappers they talk pretty fast, so it's even harder for me to pick up on what they're saying. So we're going to focus on the man Echo here. But this is DBoyd's channel if anyone is interested in that kind of music and wants to go check him out. So Echo is a guy I met online a few years ago, and that original video here is the one that he showed me. We talked for a little bit, but not all that much. So Echo, I feel I have a little bit more to talk about, considering I can tell you if a singing voice is pleasant to the ear. I can't really tell you, is that guy rapping good? I don't know. What is good rap? I don't know. But is the person's singing voice pleasant to my ear? That's something I can say. And yes, I think he does have a very pleasant voice. And he does have a little bit more videos for us to go through here. It gives us a little more to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and let Echo introduce himself.
Welcome to my kingdom. I know you're glad to be here, and I am glad for the moment that you are here. For everything you see, everything you survey is mine. This is my abode, and I welcome you. My name is Echo, and this series is called Toilet Wisdom. Why? Because this is the best place that I can do my thing. I can think, I can ruminate, I can brainstorm, I can imagine. It's where I come to think about the next song or poem as the poet.
All right, he's being a little silly, but may he have mercy on us for stepping away from his porcelain throne. We'll be back if he allows us, but we're going to step away from right now, and I'm going to move on to another one of his videos here. It's a song, Gloria, the Christmas song, and it is one of my favorite Christmas songs. I mean, as long as he keeps the melody, you can't mess it up. EDM isn't a style of music that I listen to particularly, but how could you mess up Gloria? I don't think you can. So we're going to take a look at that real quick. We're gonna leave it there, I think. But there is a particular reason why I wanted to play this video, other than the fact that I just like that song. And for someone who doesn't like EDM, I thought that was very catchy. And of course, he still has his pleasant voice. But there is a reason why I specifically wanted to play this video over some of his other ones. So we're gonna move on to this one here. I'm going to show a little bit of this, and I'm going to explain a bit more.
Okay, let's go! Ở đây thì mình
So that was just him dancing to a song just out in public. And the thing I love about this is he is singing a song about Christ, about the Lord that he loves, and he is not afraid to just go out and film in public and just dance. I mean, I'm sitting here talking about Jesus, but at the same time, I'm behind a computer, I'm behind a microphone. He is out in public, dancing, using the body that God gave him, the gift that he was given to dance, and he's using that gift to dance for the Lord. And he's not in anyone's way. People can walk around him. He's not, interrupting anybody. God gave him a gift, and what are gifts meant to be? They're meant to be received. They're meant to be open. They're meant to be used. So this reminds me a lot of 2 Samuel 6. This is when David was dancing and threw a party, threw a feast for the ark of God. And he's just out there dancing with the servants and the maidservants and his wife, Michal. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce these names. I don't know a lot about Hebrew. I'm gonna call her Michael. Michael sees him dancing with the servants, with the common folk. Think he looks a little bit foolish, and she goes out there and confronts him about it. David replies to her, I am dancing for the Lord. And that is his reply. To you I look foolish. To the maidservants that I have been dancing with, they had me in honor. You know, they danced with him. They were happy to be praising the Lord with him, while Michael was critical of it. And then, David went ahead and never gave her a child from then on. And that's debatable. David had a little bit of an ego issue after he became king. He didn't like to be criticized, didn't like to be told no. He didn't like to be reprimanded and so on. He was the king and he expected to be treated as such. He goes a little overboard when someone doesn't treat him very fairly. And that's something David had to deal with in his life. However, I think this is a nice representation of that story. How many of us are actually going to go out there and just start dancing in public about God? Not many of us. I don't think I would. So I just thought that was lovely to see someone not being ashamed of his faith, not being ashamed of the love of his life. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next one here. This one I think is a little bit fun. We're going to see exactly why I say that. So let's start it.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, hey. Yeah. Spring it. Check it.
So he also does some animation as well. So he's a man of multiple talents. Now we can obviously tell this isn't exactly Pixar, right? But I can say I was definitely smiling throughout most of it, just seeing the kings. One thing I can say is this feller, I believe it's supposed to be Echo personifying himself, I think, in the Adidas pants here. The black figure here. I've zoomed in, I've tried zooming in. I cannot tell what is on his face. I honestly cannot tell you. And of course here, all the way at the end, right? Bring it on. There's the North Star, right? I don't know what I was expecting, but I can tell you I was not expecting that. That definitely got a big smile out of me. And it continued on when that happened. Alright, so there is a reason why I am showing you this, and I'm not just here to make fun of it or anything like that. No, I'm smiling, and It's laughter and smiles, happiness is another gift from God that we are meant to use, right? How would you like if you gave someone a gift and they just threw it in the closet, never thought of it again, you know? We are meant to use it. And I am using it here right now. But there is specifically a reason why I wanted to show this. What I think is laudable is, I'm sure he's aware this isn't Pixar, right? But he's still learning, he's still practicing, and he's aware of that. He just wants to share his love with the Lord with the rest of us. So I'm going to go ahead and let Echo explain it a little bit more, and I'm going to go and analyze them together at the end there.
This is actually a challenge that I took upon, but my boy Pete told me to just let the camera roll, no takes, no cuts, nothing like that, just straight. And I'm doing it right now. You've seen it live. This is it. So I'm just going to be talking about topics, and my first topic today will be this. You know what? I'm a perfectionist. I got a problem with that. And that's something I'm handling. And this is one of the ways I'm handling it. Why? Because I feel like I got to keep doing takes and takes and takes until I get it perfect. I think I got to make music by doing takes and takes and takes instead of letting people grow with me. And, same thing with a lot of things that I do. And it kept me from putting out anything and doing a whole lot of things. So, you know what? I dumped that whole perfectionism thing to the side every time. Now it's hard because it comes back up. Sometimes it sneaks up and I don't know I'm doing it, but it's no good. And when I talked to my pastor about it one time, and basically it was linked to my pride. Once again, my pride, for which I'm kind of like putting out an image of myself, and an image that's not really me, that doesn't make mistakes and that is not learning and is not human, I think we always push to be perfectionists because that's kind of what the society wants everyone to believe, that everybody wants to look like they make no mistakes. And I get the whole credibility and trust thing, but it also hampers production, I think, and it hampers new ideas because you're still stuck on the same idea going over and over and over again, trying to get it perfect. That if you just try some of these other methods in production, I think it'd probably be more advantageous and you'll get more out.
Okay, so what he's saying here is that he is a perfectionist. So I am 100% certain that he knows his animations are not the best things in the world. But he does still release them, and he mentioned how he's a perfectionist, so that means he keeps editing and keeps re-recording over and over and over, and eventually he has to let that perfectionism go and just release what he has, or the stuff would just never come out. He'd just be editing it forever. As well as when he says he wants us to grow with him while we see him grow in his skills and his singing, his editing, his animating, his music production, his dancing. He acknowledges that he is still growing, and he acknowledges that we are still growing. And, in this world, we always want to seem the best. We want to seem perfect. We only show our Facebooks and our Twitters and all that kind of stuff. It's a highlight reel. It's not our life. It just shows that time that we were in the bathroom and it had really good lighting, so we took a picture. So even though, maybe you don't like his music videos, maybe you don't like his animations or whatever it is that you may not like, he's still willing to put it out there. Even though he's a perfectionist and he, might not want to seem like he's anything less than perfect because of pride, his love for the Lord is the reason these things are coming out. And he wants us to share in that love with him. Just because our bodies are done growing and, they start to decay as we get older, that doesn't mean we're done growing in our faith. There's still always something new to learn. We don't have infinite time here on earth. We don't have an infinite body. We continue to grow up until the day we die. If we were done growing, we'd be in heaven right now. The fact that we are still here means there is still something to learn. There is still more faith to be had. Okay, so this is his last music video that I'm going to cover. And again, I got a reason for every video I'm covering here. I'm going to show a little bit of it, and then we're going to talk about it for a bit.
I didn't even know it was like this whole time. I thought we walking, talking on this golden road and having good time. But you're suffering inside, endangering your life. Whatever's on your mind, talk to me, I'm paying attention. I can't let you live another minute thinking you're alone. Said, I can't let you live another minute thinking you're alone. You're not alone. Forgive me, I've been into myself and my selfish deeds with regard to no one else. Oh, letting distractions get a hold of me, not seeing your condition, what I'm missing, share with me.
Alright, I think that's a good place to stop. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not the best at listening to lyrics. But when there's a chorus, or I believe it's called a chorus, you know, the part of the song that everybody remembers and sings along to. The part where you're not alone, I thought the song was him singing, you know, to a woman who she's sitting alone here in the forest, and I thought he was speaking from the perspective of God, saying, you're not alone. I'm always here with you. You can always talk to me. You can always come see me. And that's kind of a problem because there's lyrics literally in the corner of the video here, and I was just not paying attention. Though he has another video he put up. He put up the reason behind the song specifically for this video. And he goes on to talk about how it's about a woman he knew who, you know, she was nice and kind and lovely, really livened up the room, and then he finds out one day she commits suicide. And he's in shock. So taking that and going back to the video, I thought maybe it could go both ways. And I saw the lyrics and it said, I'm sorry for not knowing, I'm sorry for being selfish, and so on. And we know that God's not selfish. We know that God doesn't know. God always knows. So I'm taking that part back. It's not about him speaking from the perspective of God. He is speaking from the perspective of himself. And many of us who see people and just don't know that there's a problem. And he's apologizing to this woman for not knowing and not seeking out to help her and talk to her a bit more and helping her through her problem. So the title, You're Not Alone, the woman feels she is alone. That's what she felt like. She didn't tell anybody. She felt like she was the only one in the world. This is also makes me think about back in the Old Testament, back in Kings 18, 1 Kings. Elijah, he sees, you know, everybody just praying to Baal, you know, tearing down temples, praying to Baal. He feels like he is the only one. There are 450 men, prophets of Baal, and he feels like he's the only one following the Lord, that there's nobody else out there. Nobody understands him on this planet. Later on, Kings 19, the Lord speaks back to him and tells him, no, you're not alone. There are 7,000, not all over the world, but in your home country, in Israel, who have not fallen away from me, who are not praying to Baal. You are not alone. There were 7,000 just like you. And it seems for a lot of us, we do feel like we're alone, that we know that God understands us. We know that God is there, but we feel like out of this whole planet, we're the only alien here. When we have to remember they're brothers and sisters. We have a family here, a physical family, not only a spiritual family, but also a physical family. Back then there were 7,000 just in Israel. Imagine how much there would be in this entire world. Now that we have the internet, we can find these people a little more easily. If there is a problem, we can speak out, we can seek help. But back then there were 7,000, and just imagine how many there are today. You know, it could be your neighbor, it could be someone at a church, someone at school or work who's just, you know, not very talkative about their religion, or we can't really see into these people's souls. We don't really know unless they speak up, but if they don't approach us, it doesn't mean we can't approach them. You know, this woman, she didn't tell anyone that she was having a problem, and then, you know, she went and did what she did. And Echo here acknowledges that while it's not his fault about what happened to her, it's not like he's the one that killed her or anything. He acknowledges that he was focusing on the happiness of the moment, that whenever she was there, they were singing, and the moment itself was happy, while everything surrounding the moment was something that was not on his mind. You know, what happened after, what happened before, what is in her mind that's not on her face. So I think I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to go ahead and let Echo take it out for us. Okay? Thank you. Bye.
In different environments, you know, we act differently. You know, when we go to a party, it's so much fun and have so much of a good time at the party, which is, you know, it's all good, but, you know, some of those people in the party might be contemplating the same thing. It hit me hard when I found out. I was so shocked. I was like in the middle of traffic, like, what the? She was on my set. Everything was good. We were having a good time. Especially nowadays, we're hearing these kind of things that are being committed, people taking their own life, not seeing the value of their life. And I think it stems from us not listening to others as we should, not caring for others as we should. I being one, too. So it made me think that I need to listen, I need to be available to people and be open to breaking, you know, my routine, to be an open ear, to really be available for someone who may be thinking that, or may just be depressed or downtrodden. I mean, they don't have to be at the end of the rope before we start listening to them, right? We should start now. Understand that people are going through things, you know, they may be angry, they may be sad, they may be happy. Some people are going through things, and it's coming to a point where they're not recognizing the beauty that God has given us as far as having this life and living it well and living it abundantly. There's people who pray for them. You can pray for them. You can, you know, show them good examples and things like that. But, you know, I'm just encouraging everyone to, if they know someone in their life, they know somebody around them who is maybe, you know, the square peg, maybe they're, you know, the black sheep, as they call them. Maybe they're just the odd one out. Don't let them feel alone. Take it from somebody who used to be the odd man out a whole lot. I should say I still am, probably. But, you know, and I know what it means to be alone. So I'm just saying, you know, I encourage you, I challenge you to, you know, remind them that they're not alone. Thanks, and God bless, and, you know, wish you the best on your journey on the yellow brick road.
You're not alone.